lovely foodie friends. If you haven't already, hit that like button, give me the thumbs up. I struggle to put on my apron, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay notified when I upload new content. Alright, so it's a Friday here, and like I've said in one of my previous videos, we are going to be utilizing some of our leftovers. So we had made a salmon. I will link the description for the video below. And we saved a good piece of salmon which we froze. So this is partially frozen still, but flake light enough so that we can make salmon cakes for dinner. So that's what we're making, salmon cakes. So to get started, well, let's get started, shall we? To get started, we are going to cook up some potatoes. Now, I put mine in the Instant Pot on 25 minutes. I left the skin on. I am going to peel them because we're essentially going to mash them. If you don't have an Instant Pot and you are unable to use a pressure cooker, you would just boil them similar to making mashed potatoes. The reason I use the Instant Pot is I use the trivet on the bottom so that my mashed potatoes don't touch the water. What I also put in was 2 cloves of garlic because that's going to help with the flavor. So we're going to get our potatoes mashed, just broken open, and let them cool and let the air hit them so that they hit room temperature, because I don't want to be putting in really cold fish. And let's get that done. Alright, so we've got our 3 potatoes that I've just peeled and burnt the bejesus out of myself. I've got 2 cloves of garlic. They're nice and mushy because we cooked them with the potatoes, and it's just going to add some extra flavor. And I am going to season my vegetables with, oh my gosh, I got potato in my hair, people. The vegetables that we saute that are going to go in here with some garlic as well, but just another dimension of flavor. Alright, so we're literally, back to the right hand, we're literally just mashing the potatoes. Normally I would put them in a ricer, but yeah, I couldn't find it, so I'm gonna have to, because one of our next recipes coming up is gnocchi. I'm gonna make some gnocchi for my pops for Father's Day, because it's one of his favorite dishes. But anyways, this, by the way, is a Curtis Stone scraper and masher. If you're interested in Curtis Stone, he's fan-freaking-tastic, and at least his cookware is amazeballs. Check the link down below for some of my mini-series. But essentially, I just want to get this all mashed up. And I want the potatoes to cool so that we can put in the rest of our ingredients. So now we are going to get our prep ready for our vegetables going in here. Now really, you can put whatever kind of veg in here that you want that are not super water based, okay? I totally forgot to pick up some celery. That was my intention. So I'm literally just going to be putting in some bell peppers, some onion, and some garlic. Just trying to think of the veg that I have in my fridge that isn't water, based, and that's pretty much the gist of it. So we're gonna get that going. Okay guys, in my pan here I've got 2 cloves of garlic minced. I've got 3 sprigs of baby green onions, and then I've got a whole bell pepper that I have diced. This is going to be part of the vegetable, well, it is the vegetable filling for our salmon cakes. I'm going to add a teaspoon of olive oil, and salt and pepper to taste. So not an egregious amount, just enough. Probably more in the black pepper, as always. Okay, Okay, so we're going to let this saute until it becomes nice and golden brown. Now, the way, once we assemble our salmon cakes, you can either pan fry them in some shallow oil here, as I've done many times before. You can put them on a tray and just bake them, or we are going to be trying out our air fryer today, and I'm going to bread them. No eggs. I'm going to use no eggs for this recipe, and I'm going to throw them in the air fryer, and I'm going to see if they fall apart. I'm going to put you to the test, Mr. Curtis Stone. So once we get some color on these veg, we'll come back. In the meantime, in my bowl, I've moved it. In my bowl with the mashed potatoes, I'm going to dice up probably about 2 tablespoons of some fresh dill, super fine, and add it to that. Alright, so these are looking nice. We've got some color on them. The reason why we want these mostly cooked and browned is because although they'll cook a bit with the air frying setting, or if you're pan frying them or baking them, if you don't cook them 80% of the way through, they're going to be really hard and crunchy, which would be a little off-putting in your salmon cakes. So we're going to let these go for another minute or so, and then they should be all done. Beautiful. And this is why we get all of our hot ingredients in here first prior to putting in our salmon. Now our salmon is already cooked. Again, I'll link the description for that recipe below. But you don't even have to really mix these up right now. We're going to let this cool, and probably in 20 minutes it will be cool enough where I'm going to feel comfortable putting in the salmon and breaking it up and getting our cakes all nice and formed. This is a great dish that you can do your prep ahead of time. Like I said, our salmon we froze, so blessed, you can always do that whenever. It's always good to kind of have protein ready to go, especially if you're a #struggling mom, much like myself. And I mean, potatoes you can do the day before, throw them in the fridge, break them up when you're ready. I mean, and if you don't have fresh dill, you can use dried. You can use whatever seasonings you want, but dill and fish, dill and salmon go really well together. So that's super awesome. Your peppers, your vegetables, you can do the day before. This is a great kind of also brunch item. And really lovely if you've got people coming over for dinner. You can even make them very small and do them as appetizers. Super versatile recipe, guys, that you can literally do at any time. So when everything's cool, we'll see you back in about 20 minutes. Okay, so before we form the salmon cakes, just made a we're making a very quick, I guess tartar sauce. So I've got about a tablespoon of fresh dill and just 2 dill pickles that I have diced up super fine. We're using half the fat mayo, although half the fat mayo, don't be fooled, y'all. It's still mayo. So you're literally just gonna add as much mayo as you want. You may want it thicker, you may want it looser. To this, I am going to be adding some of the pickle juice. I like mine a little on the thick side. Okay. And I like it really dill, really strong and dill flavor. I find that for fish it goes really nice, and we also are going to be serving just some pickle juice from the jar. We're not serving pickle juice from the jar. We're going to be serving some lemon wedges. Lord have mercy. Okay, some salt and pepper. to taste. Now there is quite a bit of salt in the pickle flavor already, so keeping that in mind. And you can use white pepper as opposed to the black pepper if because tartar sauce is a traditionally like white looking colored sauce, so if you don't want little flecks in it, but let's be real, you've got flecks of green from all your dill and so forth. Okay, give it a taste, make sure it's to your liking. Yeah, oh man, that's dill. Woo! All right, let's get our salmon cakes going. Okay, so for our coating, we've got about 1.5 cups of breadcrumbs. We don't season our breadcrumbs because we make our own. To this, I've got about 1.5 tablespoons of some fresh dill. You can use dried or just completely omitted if you want, and some salt and pepper to taste. This is going to be the breading for afterwards. Now, because I am using an air fryer, it says to spray the basket, which I will do, and to spray, lightly spray, the food that you're putting in the air basket. I don't like doing that. Like it's not, I mean, I do buy good quality spray, but I'm going to instead brush the tops, and when I rotate, brush it again with olive oil. That's just a preference thing. Okay, so we're getting our mise en place together. So in this bowl we have our potatoes. I do not want a pickle jar near me because you know I'm going to make a mess. We've got our dill, we've got our potatoes, we've got our peppers, our garlic, our baby green onions. So I'm literally just going to be flaking the salmon in here. I don't want like tiny pieces, but at the same time, just an extra precaution to make sure that I did remove all of the bones properly when I first marinated it for dinner. Guys, this salmon smells amazing. Like, it was so good. Again, find that link down below. So if I would have to equate this amount of salmon to a cost, if you were going to the store to buy it in just to make this meal, I'd say this is closer to, well, it's definitely $7 to $8, possibly on the $10 price point. I'm going to wash my hands. You want to come with me? Guys, want to come with me and wash my hands? Proper hand hygiene? I know, like, you guys hardly see me wash my hands when I say I do it all the time, and believe me, I do. So nice hot soapy water. Hey guys, while we're washing our hands, when I can get to 100 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway. What does that mean for you guys? That means a free kitchen gadget that I absolutely cannot live without. My cost to you guys, I'm going to do a giveaway, a contest, and one of y'all are going to win a awesome kitchen gadget. So like, share, subscribe. Look at that. And I left my towel all the way over here. Okay. All right, let's get mixing. So I don't want to be crazy rough with it because I want to keep the salmon, listen here, I want to keep the salmon as kind of bigger pieces. I want to see and know what it is that I'm eating. So I'm going to give this just a good mix until it's all kind of blended and incorporated. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we'll be back as soon as we're all done. It's all pretty much mixed in and looks great, so we're just going to add some salt and pepper to taste. Now tonight I'm going to be serving this with some curly fries that I'm doing in my air fryer that I currently have soaking, and just like a cabbage and beet type slaw. Yeah, I don't think I'm really going to be sneaking in any spinach into tonight's dinner. Now, you can add an egg to this, guys, as a binder, but then I also have to add in a little bit of breadcrumbs, and I don't want them to be crazy heavy. I feel like the potato is enough. Now, this is my recipe, and when I do it in my pan and I shallow fry it, they hold together lovely, and they're super soft and luscious, and it's great. Have I used Mr. Curtis Stone's air fryer for this? Sure haven't. So we're putting him to the test, y'all. All right, so we've got our clean plate here, ready to go. We've got our seasoned breadcrumbs, and I'm literally just going to roll them into a ball. Be gentle with your balls, y'all. I'm sorry, that was, all right. And then I'm just going to kind of smoosh them down a little bit. Okay. Just like that. I'm going to put them in my seasoned breadcrumbs. Okay, and I'm just going to make sure that it's all packed in very nicely. Okay. I mean, they're not even cooked and they smell wonderful, guys. So once I've got them all kind of lined, I am going to put them in the fridge just for about 10 to 15 minutes while I get everything preheated. So I'm going to get the rest of these going, and we'll see you in a bit. Okay guys, I've got my air fryer kind of all heated up. I've sprayed down my tray. I'm lightly going to brush some olive oil instead of spraying these on the top. I don't know, we'll see how it works out. I'm just thinking olive oil is probably better than a spray, but I don't know. Alright, so I'm going to get these kind of all done on the top, and we'll put them on the tray, and we'll come back right before we put them in. Okay, so we've got, you know what, I think I'm going to brush the tops first too. Okay, so I'm going to put them in the top probably about 10 minutes, but we'll keep an eye on it. Like I said, this is absolutely my recipe, but I've never used the air fryer for it, so I'm kind of excited to see how my recipes are going to differ with the air fryer technology versus in this countertop oven. So when I pull it out, you'll come back. Okay guys, I've been in there about 15 minutes, and the tops are looking gorgeously browned. So I'm going to give them a quick kind of flip. And they'll probably just need another 5 minutes. I'm gonna get them all flipped. You don't want to hear me burn myself. Alright, I got them all flipped. Yes, I burned myself. Yes, you missed it. It's alright. I burn myself all the time. I'm sure you'll catch it again. So we're going to put it in for 5 minutes. And then we just have 4 more, but I could have put more in. I just didn't want to overcrowd things and burn myself. Anyways, this is going to feed 6 people. In the meantime, I'm getting together my kale and beet slaw. I added so it was a package of kale and beet slaw. It's about $4 at Walmart. And when the time that we're in right now eases, and I can film in a grocery store, I will do so and show you how to do a budget-friendly shopping haul. But it was reduced to $1.95. Into it, I just added a green apple that I julienne nicely. I'm going to do a nice vinaigrette with some olive oil, a little bit of vinegar, some feta, salt, and pepper, and I'm just going to get that going now. And after the fish is done, it's literally just warming up the fries. I pulled them about 2 minutes before they were done so that when I was ready to serve, I can put them back in. Alright guys, they're looking really good. They smell fantastic. This thing here, this thing is going to be the absolute bane of my existence moving forward in life. They look yummy. They smell fantastic. Teach me. They look super, super fried, and they are, but they're still so delicate, guys. The lighting kind of sucks a bit. Okay, well, this is better. They're still very delicate. Like, I could literally just break them. Actually, I want them in the middle for my plating. I could literally just break them if I wanted to. But we don't want to do that, do we? No, thank you. We worked very hard, right? That one's going to be for the little one. The littlest little. Alright, I'm going to get these other ones going. And we'll see you just before we're done, and we'll break it all down. Alright, so our fries are out and very crispy, our curly fries. They are seasoned. Gotta get these on the plate. Alright guys, let's break it down, shall we? So in terms of our salmon cakes, because that's what we focused on today, it was about $7 to $8 for the salmon, maybe 50 cents for the potatoes, maybe $1 for the onion and the pepper, so we're at about $8.50. I did fry them in the air fryer only, so $8.50 for the salmon cakes, about $1 for my potatoes here, maybe about 50 cents here, and about $2.50 if I throw in the apple. So feeding 6 for $12. We've got some lovely curly fries that are seasoned, some lemon, and our homemade tartar sauce for garnish, our salmon cakes, and our beet and kale coleslaw with a lovely vinaigrette. Guys, feeding 6, a fantastic meal that if you went to a restaurant, I don't even know, like a fortune. If you like the content that I'm putting out, guys, like, share, subscribe, and as always, thank you so much, my foodie friends, for stopping by my table. Enjoy. We'll see you next time.